And as we come on the air tonight, a Louisville family is mourning the loss of a loved one, while community members talk about solutions to the city's violence. Thanks for staying up with us tonight. I'm Eric King in for Doug Proffitt. Tonight, residents shared their concerns with public safety leaders and anti-violence advocates at a panel organized by the League of Women Voters. According to Louisville Metro Police, detectives have investigated 114 homicides this year. Now, they'll tell you that's down from 118 this time last year. But the most recent happened this afternoon at an apartment complex in the St. Denis neighborhood. The night team's Taylor Woods has the details on that shooting and concerns from the community.
Just before 4:30 p.m., the yellow crime scene tape went up in the St. Denis neighborhood. Inside that tape and inside an apartment, officers found the body of a man who was dead when they arrived. Police tell us the suspect has been detained, but this investigation continues. But crime and safety is still a top priority. That's why these city leaders and community members are discussing ways the community can work together to reduce gun violence.
I think that anytime one person is killed in our neighborhood, it's one person too many.
This panel is hosted by the League of Women Voters of Louisville.
I walked into a mass shooting.
That's Whitney Alston. She's a gunshot survivor and advocate, taking the opportunity to share her story. Another opportunity the League is working to provide is getting voting rights restored to those who have committed crimes.
We think that once somebody has completed their sentence and paid their dues, they should automatically have those rights restored.
It's something Tip Moody can appreciate as someone who successfully has had his voting rights restored.
I lost my right to vote, and with the governor's executive order in December of 2019, I was able to get my voting rights restored.
With the election less than 2 months away, he's now advocating on the behalf of those who are wanting to get their voting rights restored.
All of the people on the panel tonight talked about how important it was to communicate within the community.
Communication, collaboration, legislation, it's all on the table, and it's all part of the long-term solution.
And they're all making a huge effort to do that, and I think that's going to be the most important thing. I think it's going to pay off for all of us.
And the League of Women Voters of Louisville are encouraging voters to make their voices heard by contacting state legislators. In studio, Taylor Woods, WHAS11 Night Team on your side.
Taylor, thank you. New here on the night team, police in Elizabethtown are turning to you for some help with finding the person who stole a car with a baby still inside. This happened last night at a home on Michelle Avenue, just off of 31W. Police say somebody stole the car with a 7-month-old girl inside. Within an hour, police tell us patrol officer located the car that you see here on your screen, not far from where it was stolen. That child was inside and unhurt, but the suspect was nowhere to be found.
Just again, by the grace of God, the child was located unharmed. I mean, a car is replaceable, but a 7-month-old baby certainly is not. So we're grateful that it turned out like it did.
Now, if you have any information about this case, you can, of course, leave an anonymous tip with the Hardin County Crime Stoppers by calling 270-765-4125. Now, if your information leads to a suspect, you could receive a reward upwards of $1,000. Here in Louisville, Metro Police want you to take a good look at these photos. This is Maurice Byers. He's 32 years old. He's now wanted for murder and robbery. Police say he fatally shot a woman back in May at the CVS on East Broadway. In a post on Facebook, police say Byers could be in Louisville or southern Indiana. If you see him, you're asked to call 911, or you can provide information anonymously by calling 574-LMPD. The Crestwood community is mourning the loss of a Kenwood Station 5th grader who was killed Saturday afternoon in a crash. This happened at the ramp from I-71 to State Road 329 as Kentucky State Police troopers were pursuing a stolen car. Police say the driver crashed into an SUV with 10-year-old Jake Luxemburger inside. In a statement, Jake's family revealed the boy's grandmother was driving the SUV, and tonight she's recovering. About Jake, they wrote, "Words cannot capture what he meant to his family and friends. He was a light in this world, a light that was extinguished too soon." The suspect, 23-year-old Demetrius Walter, is facing murder and other charges. Tonight, friends and colleagues are mourning the loss of Kentucky's 58th governor, Brereton Jones. He died today at the age of 84. Jones served as governor from 1991 to 1995 after a term as lieutenant governor. He's remembered for pushing for universal health care, along with his support for the thoroughbred industry. He ran a stud farm and was a founding member of Breeders' Cup. Jones is also known for surviving a helicopter crash during his term that left him injured.
Anybody that doubts the power of prayer can talk to the 6 of us that were involved, and I think they'll understand that this is a very real feeling. I could not be more positive about that.
In a statement, House Democratic caucus leaders said Jones served Kentucky in twin roles, leaving an indelible mark on the Commonwealth. They say, quote, "There is no doubt that Kentuckians are much better off because of Governor Jones's public service." In Indiana, Attorney General Todd Rokita is facing misconduct charges stemming from his fight with an Indiana doctor. This all centers around the case of a 10-year-old girl who came to Indiana from Ohio to have an abortion after she was raped. Rokita sued Indiana University Health, saying the girl's doctor violated privacy protocols when speaking about the case at an abortion rally. But now, the disciplinary commission says Rokita himself broke confidentiality protocols during an interview with Fox News in July.
We're gathering the information, we're gathering the evidence as we speak, and we're going to fight this to the end, including looking at her licensure. If she failed to report, and in Indiana, it's a crime to intentionally not report.
During the interview, the commission said Rokita talked about the investigation before a complaint was filed. That's a violation of Indiana code. Attorney General Rokita responded today saying, quote, "These same radicals have fostered an environment that cancels non-compliant citizens through intimidation, as well as tactics that can weaponize our respected institutions." He has already filed a response to the commission. The Indiana Supreme Court will ultimately decide if he violated state codes. All right, so you may have seen these signs popping up around Louisville, QR codes that you can scan on your phone to park in busy areas. One thing that's not on these signs, and you don't see there, are prices. Focus reporter Travis Breeze went to several of these lots and spoke to the company behind them.
PMC stands for Parking Management Company. It's a company from Nashville that looks for lots in growing cities that might need a facelift or new management. What might be a solution for a property owner could turn into a hefty price tag for people trying to get around town.
So we didn't think it'd be anywhere near that. I've never seen anything quite like that back home.
This group going to Wild Eggs on Floyd Street downtown was shocked to learn Parking Management Company wanted to charge them over $20 for a minimum of 2 hours. The company operates 22 lots and 10 hotels and medical centers in Louisville. This lot was the most expensive. We also found 2 hours for $10.60 and 1 hour for $13. The prices do not fluctuate by date and time, but rather by the amount of parking available in the area.
You have to pay $20 for that before you can even explore the city, which is what we're trying to do. But now that we've found out the price of that parking lot, we kind of want to go somewhere else.
The company says generally pricing starts at $5 for up to 1 to 2 hours of parking, with approximately 80% of locations in Louisville offering a 1 hour option, which is comparable to market standards. The contracts to operate a lot are between landlords and the out-of-state company, so are they notifying nearby businesses?
Yes and no. But it was a quick process.
AJ Al-Masudi at Haraz Coffee Shop says the company has been easy to get a hold of and answered many of his questions, but he does think it has decreased business.
The negative is customers are afraid of adding that to their coffee charge. So basically, if they're coming to have a coffee, so they're not planning on paying an additional $7 to $10 for parking.
Coming up Tuesday at 6 p.m., you'll hear more from Al-Masudi about why he thinks more property owners are turning to PMC. We will also have a full map of all of its Louisville locations and some numbers about how fast the company is expanding. In Louisville, Travis Breeze, WHAS 11 on your side.